Welcome back to SBR Videos. Here with us is handicapper Ross Benajmin to talk some NFL. There always seems to be intangible factors that come into play during the Super Bowl, and this year will be no different. We'll be discussing the trash talking that takes place, in addition to the subject of penalties, which may eventually play a role in the outcome. Hi Ross, how are you today?
Doing very well, Sylvia. Very excited Super Bowl week. If you're a sports fan, it's certainly a great week ahead.
Okay, perfect. Let's start. What can you share with us in regards to the trash talking which may take place?
Well, both teams have plenty of ammunition to use on each other, that's for sure, and they will undoubtedly have some bulletin board material available for motivation if they choose to do so. Remember Richard Sherman's verbal assault on Tom Brady as the teams left the field following the completion of their 2012 game in Seattle. Then there's Russell Wilson's ridiculous crying outburst on national television following their improbable comeback win over Green Bay in the NFC Championship game. Then you can always turn to Bill Belichick's game day attire that resembles my apparel, which I wear to bed on a cold winter night in Western New York. And last but not least, the overblown controversy of Deflategate and the New England Patriots' vehement denials of having any knowledge regarding their use of underinflated footballs during the AFC Championship game. And at the end of the day, there will be plenty of trash talk material to choose from this in the week leading up to this big game. But I don't expect any of those shenanigans to spill over to the field once the opening kickoff takes place. There's just way too much at stake, Sylvia, on the grandest NFL stage of them all.
Okay, and what can you tell us about the teams regarding penalties this season?
Seattle's been flagged for 9 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties this season, which is the 5th most in the entire league. However, it's the undisciplined penalties that have little to do with emotion which have really plagued Seattle this season. They've been flagged for defensive offsides on 11 separate occasions, and that's the most of any team in the NFL. And they were called for a league worst 22 false start penalties on offense. The Patriots, on the other hand, were the 3rd most penalized team in the entire NFL this season. They were penalized for 1,080 yards. Similar to Seattle, they were whistled for 22 false starts on offense as well this season, and that's the 3rd most in the NFL. The biggest penalty concern for New England comes in pass coverage. The Patriots have been called for defensive holding 22 times, and that ranks 2nd most in the league, and they were also called for defensive pass interference on 9 other occasions, which is the 3rd most of any team in the NFL. So both of these teams have really piled up the penalties this season, Sylvia.
Okay, Ross, and how about your final analysis of this subject matter?
Well, I'll tell you, the most surprising thing to me when researching the material for this video was how undisciplined both of these teams were despite advancing to the Super Bowl. You can be rest assured the penalties will affect the outcome of this game in some way, shape, or form. The team that can be the most mentally sharp, attentive to details, and keep their emotions in check will in all likelihood give themselves the best opportunity to win. My professional intuition tells me with both of these teams that they will exhibit a plethora of intensity, and each will refrain from the frequency in which they were penalized leading up to this point.
Great information. Thanks for your time, Ross, and good luck to everyone. This is Sylvia for SBR Picks.
The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.